you're the principal of the Maryborough Education area. Is that
Maryborough Education
Centre, and as also a school principal. And what sort of plan did you come up with to work on family violence?
Well, we don't deal specifically with family violence. We take a more general approach, one to what we call respectful relationships, and also we run a values program that explicitly teaches the social skills required for more effective relationships. Plus we also take the notion of restorative practices very seriously and work at all times in a very calm and measured approach when working with young people.
And of course, most of your work would be with young people through the education system. Now, did you have any staff members who also were involved in this?
Yes, well, our leading teacher at the time in charge of engagement and wellbeing, Eva Julian, had the opportunity through the Rotary Scholarship to attend a conference in San Diego on school-wide positive behaviour support, which was a world conference, and as was mentioned earlier, it was looking at the world's best practice in developing appropriate cultures for schools around relationships.
And what results have you seen from this so far?
Well, Eva came back with a much deeper knowledge of school-wide positive behaviour, and we've implemented as part of our values program, which runs from prep to 12 and in our specialist school as well, in very explicit and consistent teaching of the social skills that some of our young people arrive at school and don't necessarily fully understand. So in our values program, which runs for 20 minutes a day, we use an explicit approach where we teach the social skills and model the skills across the school. We have developed mantras, so if a child swears at school, for example, the teachers are all trained to say, use your other words rather than stop swearing. If a child's running in an area, we don't say stop running, we say walking feet. So it's a consistent approach that doesn't come from that negative viewpoint that perhaps when we're at school, teachers could be aggressive and might have used sarcasm or raised voices. Part of the school-wide positive behaviours is that that's really not acceptable at Maryborough Education Centre.
Are you seeing things that are changing already?
Oh, there's been significant change. The culture of the school has completely turned around, and that's been through the work of the staff and led by Eva, and that has been the most significant change because the staff set the culture, and if staff are behaving in a way that's contradictory to the message, that really undermines everything. So through the school-wide positive behaviours, the staff act in a certain way that is always modelling to the students how you treat one another.
Sounds like it's been a very positive effect.
It's been hugely successful for us.
And it means that the school's a more pleasant place to be.
Most definitely.
Now, when Rotary came to you, there were some changes that were being implemented. And can you tell us about the sort of changes that you instituted, which produced this effect?
Yes, well, we were having a meeting in the initial stages of the project that I was invited along to, and we were looking at some posters that had been drafted up which was going to be the central part of the program, and the posters were traditional in nature, and I think the slogan was something like "Smash the silence on family violence," and had a picture of a broken window. Mm-hmm. And to me, that seemed an incongruous message where we were trying to address violence and stop violence, but using a very violent message. So it was almost saying we'll stop violence with violence. And through the school-wide positive behaviours and our understandings that we've developed, I just felt that it would be far more effective to use a calmer and gentler, but albeit very honest approach. But I didn't think using the image of a smashed window and words like smashed to address family violence would be effective. In fact, it could possibly be counterproductive.
And how did Rotary become involved?
Well, Rotary had actually, they are the initiators of this initiative. We have a very effective program in Central Goldfields Shire called Go Goldfields, which is taking a collective impact, using the collective impact framework to address a range of issues that this community faces, and one of those issues is family violence. So the Rotary project really, I think, grew from that work, but it's far more organic in that it grew from a community group wanting to make a difference. So Rotary showed a tremendous amount of courage, I think, in stepping into a field that a service club would not normally step into, but it could do so. It did take a lot of courage, but I think it could do so safely because the Rotary Club was so connected to the Shire and to the Go Goldfields program, because family violence and male violence more generally is normally, I guess, tackled by people who have a strong theoretical and academic understanding, because it's such a sensitive issue. Yet Rotary are to be commended for stepping into that, but doing so not in a gung-ho, we're going to fix it all fashion, but doing it in a very measured fashion, working with the Go Goldfields group and being guided by them. Because just to step off the cliff as a Rotary group, there would be some risk involved, but the way that the Maryborough Rotary Club has done it has been particularly successful because it's worked as part of a wider community response.
Well, thank you very much.